feel like I haven't been out on a photo trip, or really doing much hiking or exploring or anything in months now. But I have a pretty good excuse. I was dealing with kidney stones, which landed me in the ER, and so far about $4,000 in hospital bills. So that sucked. And also, but wait, there's more. And also, a bed bug infestation. Would not recommend that. That sucked. Doing much better on both fronts. And I've been itching to get out. No pun intended. Been itching to get out exploring and doing some photography. So I decided to head down to the Mount St. Helens area this weekend for a few days to do some exploring down here. Hopefully get in some nice photos. I feel like sometimes when it's been a while since I've done a photo trip, I have like a lot of self-imposed pressure to come away with something really nice. That can be counterproductive because then sometimes I just don't even end up taking the trip because the weather's not looking perfect, or I don't know the area very well, I might not get something. It's all pretty idiotic. So I've decided to just make sure that I tell myself over and over again, there's no pressure. You don't have to come away with anything. This is just a location scouting trip. All that kind of stuff. But it is such a beautiful area that I'll be surprised if I don't get some photos here. Alright, I drove a little bit further up the road. I didn't find like a nice field of wildflowers or anything, but I saw this creek bed that might be nice to explore. So let's go check that out. Whew, so much stuff to bring. Camera 1, camera 2, backpack, water bottle. Out of water, I should refill that. Hope this is enough water for the trip. It might not be. Just stop somewhere and fill up. This might be more of a sunrise spot. I think the sun might actually be setting behind the mountain today. Not just today, that would happen tomorrow too. Alright, a bit of a bust photography was tonight, but I kind of knew that going in. There was a much lower chance of getting a good shot on this side. I think it's the most, or the least photogenic side of St. Helens, which to be fair, it's still beautiful. It just looks like, you know, any other Pacific Northwest glaciated mountain. Man, am I starting to get spoiled already? It's insane. It's stunning. I just didn't find a good picture. That's all. And I'm not going to push it. The light wasn't right. Didn't find any good foregrounds. I think the best I could do was just like a zoomed in shot of the mountain, but I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to head back to the car, find a place to camp, find some food, and then maybe do a little planning for tomorrow. I would like to make it over to the west side of St. Helens, where you can see the gigantic crater that erupted or exploded 42 years ago. So again, I don't really know the area very well, so you know, you risk having shoots like this where nothing really goes right, other than having a nice evening out, and that's just part of the program. So let's go get some food. I'm getting hungry. Alright, it's really dark, so no idea if you can see me. I mean, it's not that dark, it's just like well after dusk. Found a really cool campsite for the night. I'll show you the view this way. Not bad, huh? Pretty windy though, so. All I have to do is boil water. For that, we have this. Take advantage of that gigantic battery that I bought. Chana masala or pasta primavera with grilled chicken, or breakfast skillet. Let's do the pasta primavera. Good enough. We're not making pour over coffee here. This is backpacking food. Just gotta be edible. Alright.
How long?
12 minutes.
12 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. I would say I have fairly low expectations. Although it does smell damn good. Yeah, this is cool. Man, I missed camping. I haven't gone camping, or like car camping even. I haven't slept in the Subaru in a long time. Months. Hot. If it were like a restaurant meal, I'd be pretty disappointed. But right now, B+, solid B+. It'll do. That'll do. Alright. I will show you. Oh, that didn't rehydrate well. Oh well. I'll see you in the morning. Those are really on. It's just good timing. Good morning. I woke up. I slept really well. I woke up. I slept incredibly well. This is, for a car, so comfortable. I just only woke up a little bit early because this campsite is right by a dirt road, and apparently it's a busy one. A couple cars drove by at like 5 in the morning. A lot of loud trucks around here. Finally feels like summer. Feels good. Feels like I'm gonna need sunscreen today. Man, it's pretty crazy. I am in a completely different headspace than I was last night. As much as I was talking about, how I was making sure to tell myself there was no pressure, I was not in a very relaxed mood. This morning I just feel like totally zenned out. Like I've been meditating for a week straight. Every time that I go on one of these trips, it takes a while to readjust to the pace of spending time in nature, slowing down, not trying to rush around and force getting amazing shots every minute of every day. And just also enjoying the process. I've taken a couple shots this morning because the view here is amazing. A work email, that will be ignored. I've taken a few images here this morning, nothing crazy, but the view's amazing. And there's hummingbirds all over the place and wildflowers all around me. Just so happy. This is nice. I think lesson learned. I was about ready to drive 2 hours over to the west side of the mountain in the middle of the night last night so that I could wake up and get started today. But I'm so glad that I found this spot and just chilled out and had coffee this morning. And I'll still go over there today, but there's no rush, It's not going anywhere. It's already exploded, it's probably not going to do that again. Stopped off at a nearby campsite to use the restroom. It looks like there's a 1 mile old growth forest interpretive trail. Might as well check that out while I'm here. Seems nice from the, great. Seems nice from kind of just the few trees that I can see at the entrance. Let's hope that doesn't ruin the shirt. Alright, let's go wandering. That is a big tree to just rip in half. Crazy. I'm so glad I moved to Washington. It is such a pretty state. I think I might take some pictures here. I don't know if I'll get anything good, but it's beautiful and I'm going to at least try. Those leaves are swaying a little bit, and it's like a 10-second exposure, so we'll see if this turns out. It's so pretty. Even if there's a little motion blur, I still like it. These leaves are just freaking massive. Look at that. I have pretty big hands, too. Spiky on the bottom. Don't use that as toilet paper. That was a real nice surprise. Very, very pleasant in there. I did not expect to see any old growth forest on this trip, but I'll take it. No gas station's where we're going, and it's only $5 a gallon here, so decided to fill up. Let's go a long way around. We got plenty of time. And why not? To the right. There's a sign for milkshakes back there, which was very tempting, but I decided against it. Not sure why. All right, so I'll give you a quick little tour of the volcanoes up here. That is Mount Adams, which is just east of here a little bit, still in Washington. And then if you follow me over here, it's way in the distance, but if you can see that really pointy one, that's Mount Hood. It's over in Oregon. And then right here, that's Mount St. Helens, the one that exploded or erupted 42 years ago. Cool area though. It is very exposed and sunny up here. It's not that hot, it's in the 70s, which is nice, but I feel like I'm gonna get sunburnt immediately. It's also time for lunch, so I'm gonna just put up the awning, and make a quick sandwich. Nothing too exciting. I think this area is, even though it's beautiful, it's more of a sunrise location for photography. So I think I'm still gonna drive all the way over to the west side to the main entrance. I'm just gonna make for a shitload of driving today, but it's okay. I've got plenty of time. Sunset isn't until like 9, and it's not even 1, so. One of the things that I learned last spring when I was more or less living out of the Subaru for a few months, it's nice to be able to cook, but it's also nice to not have to cook. So I just kind of end up doing a lot of easy things like sandwiches, a lot of like pre-made foods. So I'm thinking when I do more local, like 3 to 10 day trips, I'll just prep a lot of stuff ahead of time and then just eat leftovers out of the fridge. Then I don't have to worry about cooking if I don't want to. Pretty cool to be able to come here on a weekday. There's no one here. There was one other car in the parking lot when I got here, but I have the whole view to myself. Tuesdays, man. I was looking on Google Maps and it looks like there's a waterfall on my way, so let's check that out. I don't know if you can see that, but that is Mount Rainier poking out right there as well. 4 volcanoes at the same time. Holy shit. All right, let's go see what this waterfall's like. I'm not even bringing my camera gear because it's midday. It's probably gonna be not ideal down there, but still want to see it. So let's go see it. Looks pretty cool. Nice. See those mud skid marks? Someone's following you. It's not gonna be me. Pretty cool. That'd be a fun one to come back and photograph when it is like cloudy or maybe in the morning before the sun hits. Looks like you can swim there too. That'd be fun. Not today. I'm gonna keep working on making moves towards the main entrance. This is just a quick little stop. Let's see if I can get back to the cart. Yeah, so many cool spots like that all over the Pacific Northwest. Also, speaking of Pacific Northwest, I can tell that I'm acclimated to living here, I guess, and that I'm not used to summer yet because it's 76 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know, it's like 25 Celsius. And I'm like sweating. It feels hot. It's ridiculous because I grew up in Texas. It used to be like in the hundreds all the time. But I don't live there anymore. 76 feels pretty warm. Alright, I finally made it up to the kind of the main entrance point, the main viewpoint. You'll see why it's the main point in a second. I feel like I've just been driving like this entire trip. I've driven like all the way around the mountain, which it's a lot of driving, hundreds and hundreds of miles so far, because it's big and the roads are pretty far away from the mountain, so it's a lot of driving. And they're very windy, small mountain roads. But earlier I was stopped. I guess I had a little bit of cell reception. Haven't had cell reception for most of it, but had a little bit earlier. And I was catching up on some email newsletters. And there's this guy, Craig Maud, that I've followed for a long time. I highly recommend his work. He's got a couple different newsletters, one called Ridgeline about walking. And in an aside in that newsletter, he was talking about how he visits museums. And I thought it was interesting and sort of relevant to this trip. I'll explain. Okay, so he says, I find I have about an hour of focus to give to any museum. Friends who can spend hours upon hours cavorting in museums baffle me. Maybe I look too hard. But after an hour, I find my eyes glaze and connections between the art and the brain grow tenuous, and I'm not really looking anymore. So I tend to be militant and have strategies for walking museums. Okay, this is where I think it's relevant to what I'm talking about. He says, first, I try to just rush through it all. What's here? What do I want to gift my fragile social media destroyed attention to? How big is this place? What catches my eye? Then I go back and do a slow sweep over the pieces that grabbed me. If a certain area is busy or backed up with folks, as most entrance areas tend to be, I'll skip the whole hog. There is always enough to look at, too much to look at, to really look at. So I like that. I feel like that's kind of what I've been doing on this trip, is really just doing the very quick walkthrough. Of course, it's a little bit bigger than a museum, and so it's taken me 2 days so far. But I feel like I've gotten a really good idea of the area of Mount St. Helens. Obviously just a tiny bit of it. I haven't really hiked on it. I haven't climbed to the top, obviously. I haven't seen it in all the seasons. But I feel like I at least have the start of a good idea of the different regions, the different areas, kind of what it looks like, how it feels different or similar than other mountains in Washington. So I have like a bunch of notes already on what to do on future trips. Like I want to go to the south side in the fall because there's some cool waterfalls down there, and also just a bunch of like maple trees and deciduous trees that I think will be nice in the fall. And then I want to do the Lewitt Trail, which goes all the way around Mount St. Helens. It's a multi-day trail. So I feel like this trip hasn't been the most efficient photo trip, and I so far haven't come away with really any photos that I love, maybe a few okay ones. But I think if I think of it like just the first pass through a museum, really just location scouting, then it seems to make a little bit more sense and it doesn't feel like a waste of time. So fortunately, I think I've also saved the best for last. So I'm going to chill in the car for a little bit, drink some water, rehydrate, refuel, and then go do some more exploring, because there's wildflowers and a frickin' volcano here, and it's beautiful, and I think I can make some good pictures, even if there's no clouds in the sky. What a way to end a trip. This place is freaking amazing. I will definitely be back soon. Hope to do the Lewitt Trail someday, which goes all the way around the mountain. It's a multi-day trek, if I can get the logistics together. Maybe next year. So stay tuned for that, as well as lots more Pacific Northwest travel photography. And with that, I'll say thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.